Hello my friends, I hope you feel happy. So out of all the new Gunpla releases that have been announced for this year, the one that I am mostly looking forward to is Destiny Spec II with the Zeus Silhouette.
Oh my god! What a masterpiece!
I mean, that's what I love the most. Big gun, cool armor add-ons, just perfect, and it will destroy everything around its presence on my shelf. Can't wait for the release. And to be honest, I was a little disappointed that we won't get Real Grade 2.0 with this pack or an updated version of the high grade, but I have to tell you, the original high grade from the 2019 is a really great piece of plastic. In fact, it is one of, if not actually my favorite design from the Seed/Seed Destiny, on par with the Freedom, and the high grade counterpart does its job very well, thanks to great accessory set, especially the wing effect parts. And it is the second iteration of Gundam Destiny as a high grade. The first one was released around 2005, so if you don't want to wait for a Zeus package, you can consider the Spec I as it's a great piece of Gunpla. And since the Spec II will be the same kit, just recolored, I can assure you that you will be happy with it and it won't disappoint you at all. So this review will certainly help you decide if the high grade is worth your time. And if you want to get Spec II for yourself, check out the link in the description for Hobby League Japan pre-order. So let's go with the flow. So this is a 2019 kit from the high-grade Cosmic Era series, and as we know, Bandai treats most of the Seed and Seed Destiny releases well thanks to their popularity in Japan. I built it a long time ago, mostly for some custom work and scribing fun to be honest, so I only took a few shots now of what was left on the runners for assembly from my original attempt. But I can say one thing, no problems at all with this kit when it comes to assembling. One thing I have to mention, the sword is painted because I use it for one of my custom projects, so sorry for that. Here you can see what it looks like in its original state, so you will have to use your imagination a little while watching this video. I decided to keep it that way because it was just painted and nothing else was changed. But yes, in total we have 11 runners on board, a nice instruction manual, and I have to admit, really cool box art. Inside you will find some stickers, no color correction stickers for the unit itself, which is really good, only effect stickers for the head, and the rest go to the shield and weapons. Unfortunately, inside the head you will not find the clear part, only solid plastic, so you will have to do some workaround for that installation. And head stickers look fine, nothing to worry about. The build took me about 4 hours if I remember correctly, and there were no problems on board. Everything clicks into place like a charm. You will find polycaps in the leg section, so if they come loose, use some top coat. Also you will find some small knob marks here and there, and especially on the blue plastic, but overall nothing bad. Only left over here is the runner with some spare polycaps. I panel lined it with grey Gundam marker. And when it comes to design itself, I simply love it! Destiny Gundam was the reason I played so many Gundam games on my PSP back in the day and later got into the franchise. And actually the metal build has been my wet dream for some time now, I really need it in my life. For me it is the best, absolute the best version of Destiny out there. But my kidney loves me so much that I still can't decide whether to sell it or not to get this piece of art. There is a third party, of course, bootleg if you like it, but yeah. So as you may know, this is the suit from the Gundam Seed Destiny, anime that is hated by many, but you can't deny how good the machines from the series are. And a little thing for you, if you don't like the original anime because of the nature of how it flows, you can try the Seed Destiny movie collection. They changed the pace and perspective of the plot, and I really recommend it as a rewatch or even as a first try. I like it better than the anime series to be honest, so yeah, give it a try. The designer responsible for this great machine was Kunio Kawara. I love this guy. I also love my subscribers, so consider subscribing to my channel for gunpla reviews, news, builds, unboxings and fun. Thank you! Gundam Destiny was piloted by Shin Asuka and it was developed from Impulse Gundam, also one of my favorite real grade to date, Force Impulse to be exact. Highly recommended gunpla. As you can see, the color accuracy is great. There are some things that differ from the original concept art, but nothing major, and this high grade is definitely sharper, which I really love. Slick and dynamic design. This kit is simple when it comes to armor parts, so no intricate panel lines or over-the-top details here, but thanks to its pose ability, this one is almost alive. And the effect parts add even more display options here along with the great accessory set. So let's take a closer look at each part and how they are designed. When it comes to the head, it is simple, no tricks here, but color separation of the red plastic makes the head design very unique and I really dig it. The V-fin got some plastic blocks to prevent killing your wife with it, but I cut them off for a better look. On the back of the V-fin you can see some small details. Overall I love how it looks. Head is placed on the ball joint with additional articulation point and the move range is great. If it comes to arms, they are great and you will find multiple points of articulation here. I'm not the biggest fan of this dark blue plastic, but here it is. I also don't like the hose for the shield. I wish for some small pieces to cover them. It could look like the concept art, for example, but okay. The shoulders can move on their own, and the best part is how the arms are connected to the chest piece. It is similar to what we know from real grades, and I wish more high grades would get this type of arm articulation. So you have a ball joint in the shoulder area with a female connector that connects to a peg that moves inside the chest. This allows for some really great poses and this kit stands out for me because of this section. Just be careful with it because if not handled well, you can break the peg when disassembling the arm. The arms have two separate swivel points, great. Thanks to the ball joint you will find a really nice range of motion of the hands. The armor design of the forearms and the hands is also unique to me, I love it! And of course you have a nice double band here. When it comes to the chest you will find nice color separation by parts. Shape is great, love the blocky vibe. Connector in the back allows for other seat backpacks in theory, but because of characteristic shape of this section you can't apply them all, unfortunately. You will find a very nice point of articulation in the tummy section and it's connected by the ball joint to the waist section. Movement is a little limited when it comes to swiveling the upper body, but for most cases it will be enough for some great poses. And the waist section is almost perfect. The side skirts have a great range of movement thanks to a nice joint system. The front skirt is separated by the cut and the back skirt is unfortunately fixed. There is no additional point of movement in this section, but even with limited back movement it does the job pretty well. When it comes to the legs, the proportions are great. You can move this part a bit, but you cannot close it completely. But you still have a double bend in the knee, very nice ankle movement and a nice foot bend. Inside you will find typical high-grade construction, nothing fancy overall. I love the Destiny backpack. This part is nicely movable, you can adjust it to your liking and poses. Wings overall have a nice range of motion, not as crazy as Strike Freedom for example, but still good and you can play with them a lot. You can get a little more range by removing the accessory handles, but it's not a game changer. The wings can be fully opened and you will find no limitations when it comes to appearance of the spread. As I mentioned before, you can't easily attach other backpacks, but you can do some workarounds and put some things that fit into the holes. I also have to admit that the unit itself looks great when you remove the wings and leave the backpack itself. There is a big hole here, but you can easily cover it with the accessory handles. Just look at that! So overall it is a great looking and perfectly working design, great for some kit bash and custom work. Especially for a high grade you will find perfect posability even with some limitations. Let's compare it to some other gunpla. On the one hand, it can be a little on the plain side at the first glance, but like I said, just pose it well and it will stand out on your shelf. Size-wise, it is a regular high grade, so only the backpack breaks the regular size and presence. So now let's take a look at all the goods you will find in this package, and Bandai has spoiled us this time. Let's start with my absolute favorite, Erudite Beam Sword. I love the idea of mixing the physical sword with the beam. In fact, it was the first thing that got my attention with the Seed and Gundam series. The sword looks great overall, and I love the way you can store it on the back of Destiny. Even when the Gundam is wielding it, you can bend it for some cool badass poses. It adds a great dynamic and feel. The transformation of the sword is very easy, you just take off the beam effect part, bend it here, close these two parts and boom! Now you can put it on the back of the unit. But unfortunately this diamond is not entirely perfect. The handle is a little too tiny for the hands, so it is a bit loose and you have to manage to find the perfect balance. It's not a big deal, I've seen worse, but just keep that in mind. Also, thanks to great articulation of the kit itself, you can use it with both hands with no problem at all. Now let's do a little ninja trick. In the shoulders you will find two beam boomerangs and additional beam effect parts for them. You can place the beam effect this way to have a boomerang weapon, or the other side to have more of a beam knife. I'm not the biggest fan of this kind of short weapons, but still you can do some cool poses with them, or just add one when the sword is on the other hand for some over-the-top close combat action. And to be honest, I prefer long beam effect like in Real Grade or Robot Damashi counterpart, but hey, just use your imagination. The beam effect from Aerial High Grade, for example, fits perfectly with a little modification. And all beams with that kind of connection will fit this way. So yeah, you can make your own cool beam saber-like weapon. I like it! Sorry, Ariel. Now let's go shoot some bad guys. The high energy beam rifle looks alright, nothing fancy or eye-catching. It is a simple sandwich like most high grades. When not in use, it can be stored on the back. Now I present you M2000GX high energy long range beam cannon. Now this is what I like. I love all kinds of weapons that can be mounted on shoulders, backpack, etc. So this one fits me well. It mounts on the back just like the sword, you just slide it down, open the scissors and boom! Ready to shoot. Thanks to the handle you can do some cool poses with it, but it is a little limited. You can also do a little trick by swapping the sides of the handles, and now you can totally break the lore and use it as a backpack cannon. And if you remove the wing parts, it fits even better. I like it that way. But hey, a good Gundam can do some damage, but a great Gundam can also defend itself. And here we have two ways to do that. Gundam Destiny is equipped with the standard physical shield. It is a small but nice looking piece and you can open it easily. You can attach it to the either side and the position is fixed. The second one is a beam shield that Destiny can generate from hands. As always, a really nice clear piece here. You can install it on both left and right hand. Installation is easy, but be aware that it can be a little loose. Now let's take a look at the wings effect parts. God, I love them. Installation is very easy and straightforward. This is a really nice addition to this kit, and thank you Bandai that I don't have to search for premium accessories this time. And we have a pair of open hands that can do some dynamic poses, but here comes the real fun with them. Each hand is equipped with the palm beam cannon, and Bandai spoiled us with some cool effect part for that. I really love it. Too bad we only have one here on board, but still a great addition to this package. The last thing you will find here are fist-like holding hands for weapons. They are okay, but they do not fit the sword perfectly. So this is my only complaint here. So yes, judge for yourself. For me it is a great package for the price. Destiny stands out for me thanks to really awesome posability, and this kit can do some real kung fu. The joints here are simple yet clever, so you can play with them a lot. The only limitations here that you have to manage are the weight balance on the ground and the back skirts that limit leg movement. Overall, the hip section could be a little better in this regard, but it's still a perfect kit for some really wild poses. I assembled it around 2020 and I must tell you that the joints are still very good and sturdy, no problems at all. So double swivel in the arms, really nice shoulder section articulation, very good bend around the tummy section, double bend in both arms and legs, guarantees hours of fun. So let's take a look at some dynamic action. I must admit that the high-grade Gundam Destiny is a perfect subject for photography. It is one of the most fun high grades to shoot. Indoors and outdoors, from close-ups to some wild poses, 10 out of 10 for me here. For the price you get a great set and package. I wish more high grades could get some cool effect parts on a regular basis. So, glad they decided to add this thing to the regular release. If you like the design itself, go for it, no second thoughts. You will not regret it for a second. This is also a great kit to learn some dynamics for posing, and I guarantee you will find a nice build, great shelf presence and a lot of fun with it. If you are not familiar with the Seed Destiny either, go grab it, you will not be disappointed.